Hi everyone, welcome back. And if you're new to my channel, welcome aboard. I'm here today to give you some straight talk and let you know where the collective is feeling as far as where I'm at in the collective and what I've been sensing and feeling. It's been tough. It's been really tough, especially if you are in the trenches and you're doing the work and you know that there's big breakthroughs coming. You can sense it, you can feel it, you just know it. There's also a lot of disinformation out there, and unfortunately, that is causing a lot of people wanting to give up. There's a big sense of people just saying, I've had enough. Enough is enough. You know, when have we done enough for the breakthrough? And it's tiring. It's exhausting. It physically hurts when you're doing energy work and when you're feeling into this and you've given it your all, and some days you just don't have it. And good balance is important. We all know this. Rest and recuperation is important with weighing out how much do you give out in service versus how much are you going to keep for yourself so that you're healthy, balanced, grounded, and able to still do your work. So now in a physical 3D matrix work, if you're in an office job or in a blue collar job or, giving it your all in service work, cooking things, cleaning things, doing whatever you're doing. You might be a teacher, you could be a lawyer. Listen, all the experiences that we've needed and wanted to experience as a collective, we have done it all. And the good news about that is we've collected enough experience. And I'm not talking about just personal collection. I'm talking about as a collective. We have gathered as much experience and intel and lessons learned and lessons completed and education and re-education and all of it. We have done enough. We've had enough. And I want to put this in perspective because if you've been a teacher, a lawyer, a doctor, an entertainer, a gardener, a service worker, a waitress, an airline stewardess, a mother, a father, a son, a daughter, any type of role that you've had. You could have been a clerk somewhere. You could be cleaning someone's houses or driving a car for somebody. It doesn't matter. Whatever you've done, whatever we have done, there has been the opposite. So, for example, if you've been a teacher, you've been a good, and I say you as in we as a collective have the experience of being a good teacher as well as a bad one. We've had the experience of being a good servicing lawyer, looking out for the greater good and doing the work that you intended to do when you first started your apprenticeship or your whatever you're doing as a lawyer to maybe help people. And we've also experienced lawyers that fall into greed. And I'm going to say, for lack of better words, bad lawyers, not looking out for the best interests of their clients because the system is corrupt. It's built that way. It is corrupt to the core. And I'm not just talking criminal justice systems. I'm talking the educational systems, our food systems. We all know this. All right, so in every experience, there has been the duality of the good and the bad. Okay? Now, if we've had all those experiences, and here we are in the 3D matrix, we're moving along. Here's the wall to the 4D. And the collective is moving along. We are up against the wall. It's like if you go to a concert and there's the stage and you get your tickets back here and you run across the field and everybody runs up to get the best that they can. There's a big push, right? And then everything kind of settles back so people can get their space and settle down. I went to one a long time ago when I was in high school. I went to a place in Hershey Park. It's the Hershey Park field. It's like a big football field. And I think I went to see George Thorogood with my sister. And it was that deal. The only gates you could get in were at the far end of the field. And we waited for hours. We showed up early and we ran with the crowd up as far as we could to the stage. And everybody just pushed and pushed and pushed. And then eventually you feel a little bit of space, a little bit of lightening up, a little bit of lightening up. And then everybody just sat down because we still had about 3 hours till the show, or 4 hours till the actual show. So everybody just kind of sat down where they were. Fine, you claimed your space. Here we are as a collective pushing up against the wall, but there is no breathing room because all these waves of awakening people just keep piling in and piling in and piling in. So we can all sense, all of us up here in the trenches, and there's people back here in the trenches too, but we all can feel that push, that push. We know we're coming for a breakthrough. We know it's coming. We feel it. We just know it. Well, there's people that are getting swallowed. There's people that didn't bring enough food. There's people that can't breathe because the push, and they're getting squeezed out, but not by the collective, but by the system that they're stuck in, the bubble that they're stuck in that's corrupt and starving them and just taking advantage and abusing them. As the collective up here is starving and drowning or suffering, there's more and more people that we're losing. There's good folks that are giving up. And it saddens me because I feel into this. I've been there myself a couple of times during this life journey. I've wanted to give up. And I'm kind of speaking to any higher dimensional beings that are listening to this, because I'm not giving up. I'm still showing up. I'm still here. But things tend to squeeze people out in the system. We've hit that point. We've hit that tipping point. We've had the 100th monkey effect. We have been hanging on and hanging on and hanging on, and we've been getting a lot of false information, and it perpetuates hopium, which some people say is the worst drug on the planet, is hopium. But I believe in hope. I believe that we need that to keep going, and that we've needed our fair dose of, reality check in knowing that there's false information coming in for deliberate division and confusion. And so here we are being asked to just hold on, just hope, just believe, just wait, just this, just that. We're tired of it. The collective is tired. We're exhausted. There's people giving up. And I'll give you an example of being squeezed out too. YouTube and the COPPA laws. If you don't know what that is, just Google it. I can't get into all of that right now because this video would go on forever. But I'm going to tell you that there are sweeps that are happening on YouTube, and it's to protect children, yes. But YouTube has not given options to creators deliberately where you have to mark it as child-friendly or not child-friendly, or for adults only, or whatever it is. There's only 2 options. There's no middle ground for mixed audiences. And all the content creators received a little notification a few weeks back where you have to mark your videos as for children or not for children, but they didn't give that third option. And here's the problem. A keyword could get a keyword such as like coloring or slime or whatever you might be talking about, that could trigger something. We don't know what those words are. It's very vague, and the guidelines are not meant to be user-friendly for the creators, because it's creating a lot of fear, a lot of panic, because the truth is that YouTube made a settlement, and now they're going to pass that on to the creators. So I don't know if they paid the settlement or not. I'm not speaking on education from that. But what I do know is, moving forward, any creator who gets a video flagged can be fined. And there is no request for manual review like there used to be in the past. I've never had a video flagged, but from what I've been learning in my research, that in the past, if a video was flagged, they could request a manual review, because you might just say a word or two that triggers something, you get flagged, and then I know it was demonetized in the past, and then you could request that. It could take several weeks or whatever, and then everything's back to normal. Well, I don't make money here on YouTube. You have to have so many subscribers and so much watch time and all of that. I'm not here to make money. This is not a business for me. This is what my soul guided me to do, to get information out, to share information, to teach what I can, and to provide that information for people. Light's going out. Sorry, guys. Well, we'll just have to deal with the lights like that. I think my laptop just died. So YouTube is now saying that they're going to send these bots out, and they're going to, do a sweep across the web, and anything that gets flagged, you can't do a manual review anymore. You can't request that as a content creator, and you can be fined, and it can be thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars. That's the maximum. Now, maybe a video like mine, I've never been flagged, I'm not monetized, I might not be included in that, but the risks are worth considering, because the financial risks to this fine that you could get could still be, even $1,000. I can't afford $1,000 fine. And I have no recourse to ask them for a manual review. There must be some kind of recourse, but in the meantime, if I'm fined, how am I going to pay that money? It doesn't make sense. So what that's doing, and this is very, very real. So if you don't believe me, do the research yourself. Check out some videos on what this means for content creators, because there's a lot of people shutting their channels down. There's a lot of content creators who are now running in fear, and they're marking their videos as private, which means you can't find those videos anymore. And there's people that just are, in tears, saying we have to close our channel down. And this is really, really alarming, because this is really, it's censorship. Although they're not saying it's censorship. They're not putting it out that way. I mean, that word alone could get one of my videos flagged moving forward. I don't know. But what I do know is I haven't created anything that would warrant a flag on my video. And I'm going to keep going. And it's going to take some courage, because I'm kind of stepping out on a risky limb here by just providing videos like this, just trying to teach or educate or do what I do. I'm running the risk of being flagged for $1,000 to tens of thousands of dollars for just doing what I do. And there's other people out there in other communities that just don't want to take that risk. So this is an example of still being in that 3D matrix, in that bubble, in the construct of being squished and beaten down and abused, because we should have the freedom to be able to do this. Now, I'm all for protecting children, but YouTube has got to come up with a better way. They've got to listen to the content creators. They've got to find a better way to allow people to continue doing what they're doing, who are making, excuse me, maybe mixed audiences. There should be a third option where they're not going to get flagged if their content is provided for, younger or middle-aged or adults. And that seems to be one of the big issues, is that YouTube did not make that third option available. So with that being said, don't listen to what I'm saying about this and take that as golden truth. Please, if you want to know more about it, do your own research. Check out the COPPA laws. If I can find a few links to some helpful videos, I'll put it in the description box if you guys want to check out some. But I think doing your own research is the most important thing if you want to know more. I have a personal favorite channel who went through and either marked private or deleted all of our videos. There's only 4 videos up there now. And to me, that just, like I said earlier, it's disheartening. It's sad, because there's good people out there doing good work, trying to be of service, help, educate, teach, share, and just give. And it's not financially worth it for them to continue with that. So it just feels like more shackles, and it just feels like part of that slave system. And the people that have the highest hopes and faith in what's coming are saying, just have courage, just keep going. And I'm going to say the same thing. For those of you that do have that courage to just keep going, oh my God, I'm with you, because I've felt myself like giving up multiple times in this life. I just am tired. I'm exhausted. I'm in the trenches. I've been doing this work a long time. And sometimes I just kind of have to go incognito. And I've been out for a few weeks. I haven't made a new video in a while because I'm tired. I'm exhausted. There is so much going on, but I'm also able to feel into, not project, but I'm able to feel into what the collective is feeling, because I feel that at an escalated level. I can feel a lot of good people wanting to give up, wanting to just quit, just saying it's not worth it anymore. All of this false information that's been given, the false timelines, the false hope, has just created such a sense of overall depression and anxiety. And that may be a strategy to confuse the dark hats as not the good hats, the white hats, or whatever, good and bad. What's the difference? Like I said, we've all been both good and bad. We have all those experiences. So what is up with this confusion now? Let's just get some good information, tap into what you're doing, be fully present, and just do your own work as an individual, as yourself. Don't be worried about the collective. This is what I'm doing. I'm like preaching this, and I'm teaching this as I'm disciplining myself in my daily work to do this as well. So if I'm doing my dishes, I'm bringing my mindfulness to that, and I'm not thinking about all the things I have to do, although I slip too. We all do it. Trying to recenter, re-anchor, and rebalance, grounding yourself in the moment of what you're doing. That's what's important. That's what we're here to do, our own work, because the divine timing of things will happen. The divine timing of the breakthrough, or the solar flash, or the crumbling of the structures and the veils that are keeping us from breaking through into the fourth dimension, where we'll all transition to a momentary blink of an eye. It won't be painful. We'll be in a place where we'll have maybe some confusion, but maybe not if you're expecting it and you're educated on it and you've done your work. But if you need the re-education and you need time to get through the confusion, there'll be people there to help. So when that happens, we will all know. You're not going to miss anything. But not wanting to give up, not wanting to sink into that depression, or sink into that feeling of, am I really doing something that's making a difference? I'll just say it one more time, that every person counts. Every position, every experience, every life choice and path matters, because we couldn't get to here, this wall to the transition, without every single experience that we've collected. And with that being said, we've also collected enough. We've had enough. We're ready. It's coming. And not soon enough, as far as I'm concerned. My little human personality side is saying, come on already, let's go. And I know the collective is there too, because I've felt those cries. I've been part of those cries. I hear them. I feel them. It's physically exhausting. It's mentally exhausting. It's emotionally draining. And it's enough. We're ready. And the only thing we can do when we're ready, if you're waiting for a concert to come on and you're front and center, and the only thing you can do is wait for the band to come out and play, that is where we are. So we're sitting in our spots. We have our front row, or wherever you are close to the stage, we are all there and we're ready. And we're just waiting for the band to come on stage and play. That's where we're at. So don't be dismayed by the constant filling in behind you. You're the collective here waiting for the band on the stage, and there's awakenings and more awakenings and more awakenings and more people coming, more people pushing. And the that anticipation where it's like a slow rumble of the crowd. You're getting ready. It's coming. Maybe the lights have now dimmed. And you have that sense of, okay, here we go. That's where we're at. So what I will say to you, though, is this as we enter the holiday season and the very end of this year. If you have means, help other people. They're drowning. They're struggling. If you're in the store and you see somebody who looks a little verklempt and maybe putting items back or searching for money, or if they don't have enough to pay for something and you are in a spot and you can help them pay for something, do it. Maybe if you're out having a wonderful meal, try this. Try this one out. I challenge you. Tip 100%. Try it. How do you know that that server you weren't directly seated at that table to help that server who may not have enough money to make rent, or maybe worrying about where her rent money's coming from? If you have people coming in to clean your house for you, tip them. Give them something, maybe a week before Christmas instead of thinking about it last minute. If you have means, think about it. Prepare. Think about the people that do service work for you, and think about how they may be struggling. Put yourself in someone else's shoes and help them. Spread what you have. Give what you can. This is the time for that. I'm not asking for any donations or any money or anything like that now. I'm asking you to forward think, to pay things forward, to do whatever you can. And if you're in a position where you truly need, that doesn't mean that you need to give. You can, bake something or do something or knock on somebody's door and invite them over for coffee or tea. If you have a next door neighbor who's a little older, perhaps, and, an older couple or an older single person, knock on their door and just see how they're doing. That's a way of giving. You're giving of yourself and your time, and that is just as valuable as anybody else's time. And I'm going to say that one more time. Your time is just as valuable as anybody else. And I don't care if there's a lawyer out there that charges $500 an hour and they think their time is more valuable because they charge more. Wrong. Your time is just as valuable as anybody else. So give of your time if that's all you have to give. And if you have money, give of your money. Just dig deeper. I know. I feel like I'm running some kind of fundraiser here, like trying to get people to donate. But I just want people to reach in their hearts and do what they can for the people in their sphere of influence. So every person out there, if you have means, you have a sphere of influence. You have a sphere of people around you. There's a bubble of people around you that you see, and maybe it's your barista at your local coffee place, or someplace that you frequent for lunch, and it could be a tip jar sitting on the counter. And you know what an extra $20 in a tip jar can do to brighten up someone's day, even if they have to split it with all the other coworkers? Or maybe it's the person that's bagging your groceries at the store, because you just stand there and assume that they're going to bag it for you because that's their job. I always bag my own stuff, even if there's someone else bagging for me. That's just what I do. They may not be able to take tip money at certain stores, but you could always ask them to help you carry your groceries out to the car, and then you can slip them some money. They'll take it, stick it in their pocket, or throw it on the ground and say, look what I found on the ground. Did you drop this? I mean, there's ways around tipping people that say they can't accept a tip. Anyhow, I digress. I just wanted to get some collective information that I was pulling down today, and I've gotten a lot of downloads, and I haven't been able to share them because I'm tired. I am physically exhausted, and I feel a little better rested today, so I said, I'm going to make a video no matter what. It's something that I needed to do, and I want to do for you guys. I want to keep doing it. I'm going to keep showing up. I'm not giving up. I'm not going to sink. Every single day is an effort to just bring your energy up to a level where you're helping other people. And sometimes you need time for yourself. So I am not going to be, I'm putting my services on hold on my website. If you really need a service from me, you can email me directly, and Linda, Lynda, LindaLight2012 @gmail.com. If you really want or need a service, I should say, not want. If you need help or a service, then you can send me an email and I'll check with my guides and see if it's something that we can do. Otherwise, I'm taking a break until further notice. So I wish you all a really wonderful holiday season, and I hope that you can just give of yourself as much as you can. If you're watching this far, thank you for sticking around, and be well, everybody. Do your best, be mindful, and stay in the moment as much as you can. Namaste.